Okay, so we have the square root of 40 here, and I'm telling you that all algebra students must know, but must know what? Okay, what am I going to be talking about? Well, let me ask you, if you are an algebra student, maybe you're taking pre-algebra, algebra 1, doesn't make a difference, would you leave your answer like this? Okay, is this okay? All right, so I'll give you a little bit of a clue, but we're going to be talking about. Let's say you were doing a fraction problem and you ended up with 25 over 100 as your final answer. Would you be okay to turn that into your teacher? Okay, you think they'd be happy with that answer as a final answer? Well, consider that. I'm going to talk about this precisely, but I'm going to tell you right now what I'm going to be talking about is absolutely critical to those of you, again, that are studying algebra because unless you take these steps I'm going to be talking about, your answer is not done. Like this right here is not a good version of a final answer. So I'm going to get to this in just 1 second. But first, let me quickly introduce myself. My name is John. I'm the founder of TabletClass Math. I'm also a middle and high school math teacher. And over several years, I've constructed what I like to believe is one of the best online math help programs there is. Of course, I'll let you be the judge of that. If you're interested, you can check out my math help program by following the link in the description of this video. But basically, I have 100 plus different math courses ranging from pre-algebra to pre-calculus. With everything in between, I have a ton of test prep courses. So if you're taking an exam and it has math on it, I likely have a test prep course for it. So those would include like the GED, SAT, teacher certification, nursing entrance exam, ASVAB, graduate school. I mean, just, think about any exam that could have math on it. I likely have it, so I can help you prepare. I also do a lot with homeschooling. So if you homeschool, I have a great homeschool learning program. Then obviously I help those of you that are having a tough time in your current math courses. Now, real quick, before we get into this problem, I just want to stress the importance of taking notes. If you're not taking outstanding notes, then you are at risk of not doing well in math, especially more advanced math. Okay, note taking is critical. You must take outstanding notes. So look at your notes and improve those notes. You'll be happy that you did. But in the meantime, you can use my notes to study from. I'm going to leave links to those guys down in the description as well. All right, so let's get to it. Now, I said, would you leave your final answer? Let's say you had a fraction answer like this. Okay, would you leave your answer like that? No, you would not, right? I know most of you would be like, no, I would just simplify this to 1/4. Okay, so this is nice and tidy. Okay, nobody wants to see fractions like this. I mean, it's like, writing a fraction like this, right? What's the point? Okay, this fraction is equivalent to the fraction 1/2. So in mathematics, when we simplify or reduce, it's not really like an optional thing. Okay, it's kind of expected, especially, your math teachers will dock you points. In other words, if you turn this in to your teacher, they would likely take off a couple points. If not, they're certainly not going to just let it be there. Without making a case, but they'll probably take off points. Okay, but in algebra, what I'm going to show you here is critical, and it's the idea of simplifying. Okay, you need to simplify things that look like this, and what we're talking about here are square roots. Okay, or radicals. Now, right here, we have the square root of 40. Now, you may not know, okay, or can determine just by looking at it, but this is not fully simplified. Okay, we want to write this in a simpler way. Okay, so when you're working with radicals and square roots, you need to be thinking about simplifying your final answers and simplifying anything that has a square root in it. Okay, not just even square roots. You can be talking about cube roots, etc., etc. All right, so let's take a quick look at how we do this. Now, this topic, by the way, working with square roots, there's a lot involved. Okay, so square roots, you can multiply square roots, you can divide square roots, you can possibly add and subtract square roots. So we're talking about a lot of different things here. Okay, these are operations with square roots. All I'm talking about right now is simplifying. Okay, again, think of it as like you're reducing a fraction. Okay, so all these other things that I'm talking about are just listed here. You're going to want to follow up on and study. I have tons of videos in my pre-algebra and algebra playlist on my YouTube channel that goes over this, or maybe you just want to take my Algebra 1 course or pre-algebra course in my Math Help program. Okay, so what's the deal here? Well, here's the thing. You need to know that we can rewrite this square root. And the way we can rewrite that, or rewrite this, is the following, okay? We can rewrite this number, or this square root, by looking at this number, and we can write this number in terms of its factors right here, okay? So there's a lot of different ways we can write 40. Okay, let's just go ahead and look at it this way. 40 is the same thing as 4 times 10. That's one way we can write 40, or you can write 42, I'm sorry, yeah, 2 times 20. That's another way. We have different ways we can write 40, but the way you want to write 40 or be thinking about it is you're looking for factors. Okay, when you have these numbers, you're looking for these factors. All right, I'm going to write them down. 4, okay, 9, 16, 25, 36. I can go on and on and on. But what do you think these numbers are? Okay, what do you think I'm writing these particular numbers down? Well, these numbers are called perfect squares, okay, because all of these numbers here, when I take the square root of them, and we're not going to consider the negative square root. We'll just take the square root of 4. All right, the square root of 4 is 2. It's positive negative 2, but just 2, okay? Square root of 3, positive negative 3, so we'll just write 3 here. Square root of 16, 4. Square root of 25, 5. So you can kind of get the idea. Square root of 36, 6, and then 49, etc. So you want to be looking for these numbers right here. When you're simplifying square roots, you're looking for these perfect squares as factors. Okay, so you're looking at this number, you're like, okay, I can factor, 40 in different ways. So 40 I can go as 4 times 10, or 40 I can go like 2 times 5. But I like this version right here because I got this 4, and 4 is on my little, my list right here. Okay, my little important list that I'm looking for. I'm looking out particularly for these numbers. Okay, now I'm kind of going fairly quickly here. We can kind of get into this, with more advanced problems, but this is just kind of an introduction video to this topic. All right, so let me go and erase this. So now that we were thinking of 40 in terms of 4 times 10, these are factors. I can rewrite this square root as 4 times 10, okay? So you can write a square root like this in terms of its factors, 4 times 10, or I can think of it that way. But here's the most important part. The most important part is I can pull these factors apart from one another. I'm going to erase this. And I can write this separately. Whoops, okay, that's a little bit better. I can write this separately as the square root of 4 times the square root of 10, okay? So let me write this more clearly here, just to see this, property of square roots. The square root of 40 as equal to the square root of 4 times 10. Then again, I can pull these square roots apart, so that's going to be the square root of 4 times the square root of 10. Okay, then, but what's the advantage of doing that? Well, the advantage is this. I can take this 4 right there, all right? I'm like, okay, that's easy. I know what that is. The square root of 4 is 2, so that would just be 2 times the square root of 10 right there. 2 times the square root of 10, and that is it. So the square root of 40, when we fully simplified it, it's going to be 2 times the square root of 10. You got to know how to do that, okay? This is important. And matter of fact, if you don't simplify radicals, oftentimes you can't, you won't even, let's say you have a multiple choice test, right? Like A, B, C, D is your answers. Your answers, okay, when it comes to like square root type of problems, are going to be fully simplified. So you might be saying, oh, the answer I got was square root of 40, but you're not going to see square root of 40. You're going to see this in your choices of answers, okay? So again, simplifying square roots, it's not an optional thing. Okay, you got to do it. All right, so let's go and just finish up this video by giving you an opportunity to see if you can do this. So here is a problem, the square root of 120. Go ahead and see if you can simplify that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get into the solution right now. If you're not ready to see it, go ahead and pause the video. Now, there's different ways you can approach this problem. So I'm thinking, all right, 120, what comes to mind is 12 times 10. Okay, now so let's go ahead and write that this way. Is that going to really help me out? No, not right. Not so. Okay, so that's not going to help me out. So I'm thinking, all right, I'm looking for those perfect squares. Well, I got 4 right here, 4 times 3. That's nice. And then here, 10 is 2 times 5. So these look like they're prime numbers, 3 times 2 times 5. So there's nothing more I can do here. So the square root of 20 really is going to be 4 times 3 times 2 times 5. Okay, those are my factors. So let's just go on and think of it this way, because we don't need 3 times 2 times 5. That will be 4. This is 6 times 5 is 30. Okay, so these are the factors that are the best factors for 120. Okay, 4 times 30, right? Now, why these factors? There's different ways you can write that, because these pair of factors, I have a perfect square, okay? So yeah, I can write, I can break up 120 in different ways, but I don't really care about breaking it up. I'm looking for these perfect square factors, okay? All right, so now at this point, I can pull these factors apart. That would be the square root of 4 times the square root of 30. Okay, so that would be square root of 4. Of course, I can write as 2. We can just skip that positive negative part right now. That would be 2 square root of 30, and you are done. Okay, so square root of 120, simplified, 2 square root of 30. And if you got that right, then go ahead and give yourself a nice happy face with an A plus and a 100%. Nice job. Okay, but I'm not really exaggerating here by saying that all algebra students need to know this. Yeah, I really do mean what I'm talking about here. I've been teaching algebra for decades. Okay, you got to know this, or you got to know how to work with square roots. And you start working with square roots and radicals and whatnot, with numbers, and then you graduate on to things with variables and stuff, stuff like this. Okay, and then you can have numbers in there and everything else. So you can get more interesting for sure, but the concept is still the same. All right, so if this video was helpful in some small, tiny way, please consider smashing that like button. That definitely helps me out. And if you're new to my YouTube channel, please consider subscribing. I've been on YouTube for 10 plus years, have over 1,000 plus math videos, basic to advanced mathematics, organized in various playlists. So if you like my teaching style, I have a ton of content there. My goal is always to try to teach math in a clear and understandable way. Okay, and I'm posting new content all the time, but my best math help will be within my math help program. Okay, so with that being said, I definitely wish you all the best in your mathematics adventures. Thank you for your time and have a great day.